हेलो फ्रेंड्स। पिछले डिस्कशन में हमने देखा कि इंडिया के एक्सटर्नल सेक्टर्स में ग्लोबल इकोनॉमिक इन्वायरमेंट का क्या रोल रहा है, इंडिया का मर्केंटाइज ट्रेड कैसा रहा है, हमारा ट्रेड डेफिसिट के बारे में हमने बात की थी। हमने ट्रेड पॉलिसी में वेरियस मेजर्स क्या लिए हैं सो दैट वी आर इम्प्रूविंग आवर ट्रेड पॉलिसी, द ईज ऑफ डूइंग बिजनेस एंड ऑल। सो अभी इस डिस्कशन को आगे बढ़ाते हुए लेट्स सी समथिंग अबाउट द WTO negotiations and India, where India was currently engaged. Sorry, India was recently engaged. देखिए, 10th मिनिस्टीरियल कॉन्फ्रेंस अभी अभी 2015 दिसंबर में नैरोबी केन्या में हुआ, and this was first such meeting to be hosted by an African nation. So, outcome of this conference, they were referred as Nairobi package, and this Nairobi package that included ministerial decisions on agriculture, cotton, and issues related to the least developed countries. So, इस कॉन्फ्रेंस में ये डिसीजन लिया गया दैट जो सर्विस सेक्टर है, एंड इफ इट इज ओरिजिनेटिंग दी सर्विसेज, इफ दे आर हैविंग देयर ओरिजिन इन लीस्ट डेवलप्ड कंट्रीज, देन दे विल बी गिविंग एज अ preferential treatment, and so that a boost can be given to these least developed countries to export more and more service and in order to advance their economies. But there was still a divergence in viewpoints with respect to what? With respect to the fate of Doha round, whether the agreements which were put to discussion in Doha round, in Qatar earlier in 2003, whether what will be the fate of those agreements, where there will be a consensus on the set of agreements which were in questions. The This Nairobi Ministerial Declaration that still reflects that there is still a divergence which prevails amongst the WTO members. So आज हम थोड़ा सा डिस्कस कर लेते हैं कि what this all fuss is about Doha. What were the SPS, and what were the hurdles which the countries were facing as such. So as you know, Doha is a capital in the small nation of Qatar, and 2001 में वहाँ पर एक कॉन्फ्रेंस हुआ था, फोर्थ मिनिस्ट्रियल कॉन्फ्रेंस ऑफ WTO. Now, the members nation over there, they started talking about some new agreements and issues, and the talks continued. So this entire package, whatever the outcome of these talks were, that was called as Doha round of talks, and it is also called as Doha Development Agenda, DDA. And okay, the talks were going on, but what the hell they were talking at all? देखिए हुआ क्या था, these developing nations, they complain. What was their complaint? That they are facing certain difficulties in implementing the WTO agreements. WTO norms, as per the agreement of WTO, उन लोगों के लिए अभी भी काफ़ी tough थे, and they are not able to meet the pace. So they said that there should be some concessions which should be given to them. Okay, and accordingly, SPS, that is Phytosanitary Measures Agreement and Sanitary Agreement, and basically on the farm products. So this was agreed upon. So now this was given that each nation can make its own quality control rules, but but these rules should be based on scientific values. So इससे पहले क्या होता था, जो ट्रिप्स एग्रीमेंट था, द इंटेलेक्चुअल प्रॉपर्टी राइट्स की हम जिसमें बात करते थे, उनके सेफ गार्ड की जिसमें हम बात करते थे, दे वर मच मोर स्ट्रिक्ट. लेकिन बाद में जो जेनरिक ड्रग्स का अगर हम एक एग्जांपल लेकर चलें, तो बाद में ये माना गया कि आप एग्रीमेंट्स और पेटेंट और अपने इन चीज़ों का सेफ गार्ड तो करिए, बट स्टिल you should give a larger picture to the public health interest at large, especially in the countries which cannot afford very expensive medicines. So, items क्या क्या रहे थे दोहा में नेगोशिएशन के लिए. It was like multilateral environment agreements. It was trade barriers on environmental goods and services, and most importantly, subsidies, especially fisheries subsidy. Actually, होता क्या है fisheries में subsidy the outcome is the end result is environmental, uh, environmental loss. What happened? You encourage the too many fishermen, these too many fishermen by giving them subsidy, and they are catching very few fishes. So altogether, they go into a competition to get more and more fishes, and this in turn harm the environment, as we are watching it happening in the between the borders, naval borders of Sri Lanka and India. So अब इन सारी चीज़ों के ऊपर कंसेंसस बन नहीं पाई. सो इट इज सेड दैट दोहा conference was basically a failure because members were divided in on the issues of competition policy and transparency in the government procurement. And in fact, first world blames India to be the main villain for the failures of Doha talks. So अभी let us understand that इंडिया ने इंडिया को प्रोजेक्ट किया गया दैट इंडिया वाज अ विलन, बट इंडिया की प्रॉब्लम क्या थी? Why at all India was portrayed and painted as a villain? Let's understand India's problem in Doha. इंडिया की प्रॉब्लम थी बेसिकली स्पेशल सेफगार्ड मैकेनिज्म जो उन लोगों ने प्रपोज किया था, स्पेशली द डेवलप्ड कंट्री. Actually, what they said कि these measures are designed to protect poor farmers by allowing countries to impose a special tariff on certain agricultural goods in the event of important surge or import surge and price fall. Now, let us understand it by an example. For example, India is producing corn. Both countries are present. India and USA. India is locally producing this corn for example, rupees 10 per kg. USA, what USA is doing, they are developed countries and they are having large chunks of farmlands. They are producing it for 5 rupees per kg. Now, what happens? In this year, USA is having bumper crop. So after consuming this corn at home, they started exporting it to India at the price 5 rupees per kg. Now, see what is happening. The local Indian farmers will be at loss because they cannot compete the technology, the economies of synergy, and the import will ruin the local or the domestic corn industry, corn farmers. So what India is having? So according to this SSM, India can do what it can do. It will make a level playing ground. एक कंपटीशन को करेक्ट करने के लिए it will put a duty of almost 5 rupees per kg duties. So now it will amount to 10 rupees per kg, and both Indian and American corn farmers can compete in the Indian market on the same level. USA said, okay, you can do so. You can put a duty. I'm not objecting it, but you should not put a duty until and unless the prices on which I'm dumping my items in your market should be very less, something like 0.50 paisa. So आप यहाँ पर देख रहे हैं the cunningness of USA. They are saying कि okay, you use the mechanism, but only in the event of if the prices are too much low. But you know that there is always a escape route, and USA won't be selling its corn in 0.5 paisa, 0.50 paisa. Instead, it might be selling it for one rupees per kg. But still, India cannot put any special safeguard mechanism in this case, and still, in the absence of it, the Indian farmers will be at loss. So, This was the main issue that India and USA were confronting each other, and Doha round, it turned out to be a failure. So you can see I have given you the example of corn over here and the final calculation. So friends, that is it for this lecture, and in further discussions we will be learning more about the bilateral and regional cooperation agreements, and more specifically we will be dealing with the Trans-Pacific Partnership and its implications for India. Till then, I thank you for watching this, and do visit our website www.cypherias.com for further information. Till then, take care and bye-bye.